What's up, folks? I'm back again reviewing another something. It's a something. I gotta call it a something. I don't, I got a problem. I struggle. I'm telling you, I struggle. Maybe it is because I'm not educated in the highest, universities and colleges of this world. Maybe it is. That's why I struggle. I was not educated there, right? So that's why I struggle with understanding why people don't understand what's really going on. What am I talking about? Let's get to it. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So, in my LinkedIn profile, I'm breezing through. Every now and again, when I get a chance, I jump on there to see what folks are talking about. And I jump on there and Tess posted this article, and her comment was, carefully planned and coordinated. Sure it was. I wonder if she had a straight face when she said that. Yes. The answer is yes. Tess, what do you expect? What do you think is going on? What is carefully planned and coordinated? I don't have to read this story yet to know that if the Bureau of Prisons tells you that they did something and it was carefully planned and coordinated, and that it was successful and went well, however the hell you think it went is irrelevant, because it went exactly according to how they wanted it to go. And if that is horrible, then so be it. What you think or how you felt like it went is irrelevant. They don't care about what the people think. You should have known. You guys should figure that. I should figure that out by now. I did, and I'm not educated like most of you are. So why is this hard? Let's go see. I'm not 100% sure. Let's go see what this is about, because I already know. BOP Director commends FCI Dublin staff despite accounts of abusive behavior. Well, what did I just say? I knew it. Of course. She's going to commend them and say great job. Because they did one. They are usually abusive. What do you expect? They're dealing with slaves. People who they see, the majority of them believe, are less than human beings. The people that our society has taken up the mantle of the Jim Crow era stuff. It's embedded in us, it's programmed in us, and anyone who is marginalized, who is mentally ill, who is suffering, can't get their stuff together, if they're having trouble, any sort of trouble, they are no longer in a good bit of society's viewpoint human beings. They have now been downgraded to slave material. Yeah, I'm laughing. It's like if it's funny, but the truth is that I don't think it's funny, right? Because I know what I'm saying is 99% true. The evidence is there to support what I'm saying. When folks have issues, what is the first thing you say? Lock them up. And in America, lock them up means enslave them. Make them slaves, right? Your Constitution got a felony. If you commit crimes and you're guilty of committing crimes, you're a slave. You can now be treated as a slave. And in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, they uphold that wonderfully. You get in there and they're going to treat the folks like slaves. They don't care if they're women that are mothers and daughters and sisters. You know, what are you talking about? That stuff doesn't matter to them. The understanding is that they committed crimes, and so because of their bad acts, they volunteered themselves to be slaves in the United States of America. And these institutions, the criminal justice, well, let's call it the criminal legal system, took them up on the offer of their volunteer. Well, not every one of them volunteer themselves, but a good bit of them do, right? And so they volunteered themselves to be slaves, and the system took them up and said, oh, you want to be a slave? No problem. You want to give problems? You want to have mental issues? You want to act like a fool? You want to go harass our privileged citizens and people who are just trying to have a peaceful life? You want to, whatever it is you want to do that you think is cool or not cool, or you just shooting the breeze, whatever it is, you want to do that. Well, here in America, when you do these things, you give us a very good excuse to destroy your life and make you a slave and put you in the system and put you away. And that's what it is. That's the job. That is the job. And you get in there and they have to make sure that you're broken, make sure that you understand that you're a slave, and make sure that you are so messed up that you'll probably be back. I haven't read anything. Well, I haven't read anything else yet. And I know that that's what's going on. That's what you're going to find in this article. That's what they were doing. And she commended her staff. Good job. Because that's what they do, people. That's what they do, Tess. Right? This is not rocket science here. What's going on? Why is this so hard to understand? Right? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this article. I'm not going to go, I'm just now proving my points. 6 paragraph note of 10, we're not reading that. Women describe being shackled so tight that they bruised, being screamed at and told that they were whining, oh my gosh, and kept in the extreme cold and heat as the bus drivers and officers blamed them for the prison shutdown. Which, yeah, of course, right? What do you expect? Slaves don't get proper treatment. Where back in the Jim Crow era and beyond in the past, right, did slaves come across in the ships in luxury? What are you talking about? Did the cotton slaves, the slaves that work on the plantations, were they sleeping in hotels? Were they being driven around in horse carriages and stuff? How were they dealt with? How were the slaves dealt with? They were chained and dragged and screamed at and cursed. They were whipped. All the horrible stuff. It happens to people that you dehumanize and say that they're no longer human, and so that's your excuse to treat them like that. It happened back then. It's happening now. Because that's just how you were programmed to behave here in the United States of America. The folks who join their legal system are programmed to view you that way. Not all of them do, but the evidence is here. Look, it's right there. What do you expect? And of course they were mad. Did you close that the slaves complained because they wasn't supposed to? What do you right? They're supposed to shut up and take the punishment that they deserve, right? And so they complained and they reached out, and what? Now you got a shutdown, right? Which is rare. That in itself is a miracle. It's rare to get a prison shut down. We need so many more of that. What about MDC? What about Attica? What about Rikers Island? Right? They shut down dog pounds and other animal shelters way quicker than they will shut down a prison where human beings are being mistreated. Oh, wait a minute. Did I confuse you? Did I call the folks who are incarcerated in the prison system here in the United States of America human beings? I'm sorry. I mean the slaves. The slaves, they caused the problem. They gotta go. And so the officers are mad. What? You trying to get us fired? You're trying to lose our job? If there are not enough prisons, where are we going to work? How are we going to feed our families? Right? This is the officers' mentality. This is how they are thinking. Right? I joined this organization to protect myself and my family from being attacked by these organizations. So because I'm a part of them, I am safe. Well, at least that's what they believe when they join these organizations. And hey, in order to keep this job and to be successful at it, I have to treat all the other marginalized human beings and horribly as their slaves. So be it. My paycheck is more important than you, slave. Come here, take this whooping. Take this hand. And let me show, make sure this hand fall off eventually because it got no blood in it. Yeah. Understand, folks. But I don't blame them. I do not blame the folks who work in the system. It is not an individual blame for individuals who work in our police departments and who work in our prison systems. This is a programming. The slavery, the Jim Crow, the abuse, all of it is programmed it's in your system now. You can't, it's hard, you gotta reprogram, folks. Nobody's reprogramming the folks in the prison system, and they don't want to reprogram. The money is more important. They'll take the money any day. So what they do, they put on a show as if they're doing the right thing, but they're not. That's all that's happening here. Folks, do I even need to go through this anymore? You could go read this post. You could go read this stuff. I'm sure you're gonna see that the prison staff treated these folks horribly, acted like they don't care about them. And my thing would be, what did you expect? Just slaves. They're just slaves. We're just doing our job, moving the trash from one location to the other. We don't care. And they don't understand why you guys are upset and why you're making this a big deal. The director of the Bureau of Prisons was right. They executed their perfectly well-oiled plan to move these non-human beings, or these lesser human beings, these slaves, from one location to the other. They executed that plan excellently. And how do you know? Because the slaves were crying about it. They were screaming and crying, oh, they treated us horribly. That was their intention. Well-oiled, well-executed move. The director of the Bureau of Prisons was right. Stop crying about it, okay? Stop acting like y'all don't know what's going on. It's time. Y'all are way more educated than me, way smarter than me. to be so late on figuring this stuff out. See you guys on the next post.